All right. The Edo State House of Assembly on Monday announced the recall of one of three suspended lawmakers, Mr. Bright Iyamu. According to the news agency of Nigeria, Iyamu, PDP Oriomwom South, was suspended on May 6 alongside two others over an alleged plot to impeach the Speaker and other principal officers of the Assembly. The two lawmakers who are still on suspension are Donald Okobe, PDP Akoko Edo 2, and Ade Isibo, APC as a Northeast 1. Announcing the lifting of the suspension during the plenary on Monday, the Speaker, Blessing Abebaku, said that the House had yet found Iyamu to be remorseful. Shortly after Iyamu's recall, other lawmakers took turns to appeal to the Speaker to consider lifting the suspension on the two remaining lawmakers. The Speaker, in his reaction, noted that Isibo had taken the matter to court. Mr. Ugochukwu, Edo State, yet again, is in the news, and this time around it's Edo State House of Assembly. What is your reaction to the recall of Iyamu and then Isibo taking the matter to court?
You know, I really was interested in this story because it affects us in River State. The status quo in River State, for me, I've always raised that penitent question. And there is another person, one Mrs. or Miss Ndukwe, also raised that critical question that prior to the political turmoil in River State after the failed impeachment attempt on the governor, there were 4 legislatures that were suspended in River State. And as we speak, they have not been recalled. I want the River State government to take a deep look at this particular news. The proceedings, I've given example of how the Senator Ningi was recalled, his suspension. So, taking a matter that happened on the floor of the House, as one of them has done, is rather an affront on the House rule. That is why you will recall that in our democratic life, you find out that whenever there is a problem within the hallowed chambers, the police even cannot make arrest. It will also always be resolved according to the House rule, be it in the National Assembly, be it at the Senate, because if not, you find out that police will come into the chambers. Let me make a quick analogy. When Saraki was being prosecuted as the Senate president, you see that Saraki will go from his seat as a Senate president to the court. And that very day, the plenary will not hold, or they will suspend plenary, and the people that are supporting him in the Senate will follow him to the court. So the police or EFCC never came in one day to come and arrest Saraki inside the hallowed chamber. And he also have his retinue of police escorts. So to show you the powers or the laws guiding the hallowed chamber, where the laws governing either the state or the federal government is being made, I like that particular act that gave them the sanctity in that particular hallowed chamber. But for what is happening in the hallowed chamber in Edo State, for one of them to take it to court is an affront and an aberration of the House rule, which he swore when he was taking his oath of office to pay allegiance to. So for the person who has been recalled, he has shown enough remorse. Because to show remorse, you will not go and hire a town crier to be crying that there is remorse in your mind, but through reaching out to your fellow members, through retracting your steps and some of the statements you have made, you render apologies and say that maybe I was misled, or maybe when I was acting, I was not in the right frame of mind and all that. You now retrace your steps. And it is also some of your member friends that will now be pushing for the recall. But look at what happened in River State. That 4 people were suspended on the floor of the House, and today they are parading themselves as authentic members of the State House Assembly. That means jettisoning the rules which they have sworn to protect. So why I'm very much interested in this particular scenario is for River State to take a clue and see the governor and his handlers, Governor Senora Efubra and his handlers, and the Okojombo and his co-travelers should take a clue of what happened during the recall of Senator Ningi and the recall of this House of Assembly member in Edo State, following the due process of the House, in order not to, cause rift and mislead the public. What is happening in River State now, Choma, is that the governor might be winning the sympathy and the support of the people, but he's not winning the legal side of it. The governor is basking in the euphoria that the people's governor, the messiah of River State of our time, and he has thrown caution to the wind as he regards the law and the tenets of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. You see, basking in the euphoria and the people are with you and all that, you may have a 100,000, what we call in the football arena, the 12th man on the field, which are the fans, the supporters. They can be there and make the noise as they want. They cannot be part of the 11 players in the pitch. So their joy and whatever they are going to cheer after depends on what the team they are supporting does in the field of play. That is where their joy is complete. So the governor who is leaning on the people, the Rivers people first and all that mantra, but forgetting that there are litigations, landmines everywhere waiting for adjudication, which will, at the end of the day, be the last man standing. So the earlier they begin to come to a sense of acknowledgement that those 4 members from ADC here to Fine Boy, is it Fine Boy or the other persons that is supporting them, the deputy speaker now or the leader of the House, and the Okojombo and the good boy, good boy Sokare, that they were duly suspended by the Martin Samehule-led House of Assembly on the rules and orders of the House. And they have not been, their suspension have not been lifted, or they have not been recalled, and they have not showed enough remorse for them to be recalled. Whatever that is happening within that space is they are floating and they are on illegality. So borrowing from what is happening, I'm not saying that it is Ugochukwu that is saying it, but borrowing from what you have seen happen in Edo State now, they can see the handwriting of the word that the rules of the House cannot even be challenged in the court.
All right.
It cannot be challenged in the court. So this person that have gone to court will later come to the House. Remember what happened in this same Edo State in the beginning of the first tenure of Gospel Obaseki. In the midnight swearing in, or declaration that the House is now in section by the governor, and 6 people or 7 people were sworn in, took that oath of allegiance and oath of membership of the House, and elected the Speaker of the House. And throughout the lifetime of this man, his lifetime, those people were not there. It was in this second tenure that their lifetime started. So let us begin to do what the law says, and let us begin to respect all arms of the law.
Right. Because
we have the judiciary, we have the legislature, and the judicature. So these are, independent arms of government, but they are all working as one. Okay. So by the time you don't overshoot your own bounds, you are not interfering with the Constitution. So the House should be allowed to function, and the rules of the House should not be trampled upon and made to be not to be seen as being a rule, because any gathering that have not rules and regulations that guides it is already a house in chaos.
All right.